fantastic challenge. I think the weight wasn't a problem for Hearns. He'd worked for a long time in the heat of Phoenix, Arizona. Lost the weight that he'd put on to beat Dennis Andries pound by pound very steadily. I don't think he was a full-blown light heavy then, but his punching power not affected in the slightest. The hardest one-punch hitter in boxing wins his 4th title. Strong feeling that Roldan would be a sitting target. Well, he was. But he gave Hearns some desperately worrying moments too. But it was all smiles from the Kronk gym and all smiles from everybody in Detroit as well. Jim Watt sitting with me, evaluating that performance from Tommy Hearns. I mean, Jim, he's 29 a couple of weeks ago, and he doesn't need the money. This has been his night of nights, and he might just sit down and wonder, well, how do I top this?
Well, obviously he can't top that. He's done what no other man has done, as he said already. And although tonight's fight only lasted 4 rounds, Hearns was asked to do a great many things. He was asked to do a little bit of everything. He had to cope with pressure because Roldan got himself back into the fight again. He had to take a couple of punches, bang on the chin, real knockout punches, come through those, show a bit of experience, get himself back into the driving seat, and then eventually knock Roldan out with one tremendous right hand. He was asked to do everything and come up with the goods, and now he's the first man in history to win 4 world titles. He can't really follow that, but I don't see him wanting to retire after a performance like this.
Absolutely, and before the fight, as we said, there were all these theories flying around about how things were going to go, and people made the weight that Hearns had to take off a decisive factor. But to me, he looks genuine, comfortable at middleweight.
Yeah, well, I didn't ever really consider Hearns to be a light heavyweight. I think that the weight he put on to fight Dennis Andries was false weight, and I don't think it would have any trouble getting that weight back off again. Maybe the last few pounds would be a slight discomfort, but all great fighters had some discomfort at their actual fighting weight, and that helps to put you on edge. And he looked in tremendous shape. He was strong enough to take the good punches that Roldan landed, so obviously no trouble at the weight. And he is. I think he'll spend the rest of his days as a middleweight. I don't see him changing it back up to light heavyweight again for any reason.
I mean, they'll all be now as the crowd leave this arena behind the Hilton Hotel here in Las Vegas, leave for a bit of celebrating and a night that I'm sure will stretch right through until the beautiful sunrise in the Nevada desert. They'll all be saying, well, what now for Thomas Hearns? Will he persuade Marvin Hagler for one more big hurrah? And will Ray Leonard fool us all again by coming back and having a repeat of their memorable fight? I mean, how do you feel the scenario will pan out, Jim?
Well, if Tommy Hearns still needs to find a challenge, the only challenge I can see him finding is to bring back the men who have defeated him. Marvin Hagler has defeated him, Ray Leonard has defeated him. Maybe the only thing that would give him pleasure now is to get them back into the ring. Also, they are the only 2 big money matches for him. So maybe that would give him a challenge. Bring either or both of those men back into the ring to see if he can wipe the slate clean. As I say, that would certainly be a challenge.
Jim Watt, thank you very much indeed. So it's been a memorable night here in Las Vegas. I'm sure all of you have got up to watch this fight live, and there's nothing quite like watching it as it actually happens. Will have been delighted that you broke your sleep back in Britain. You've seen a huge chunk of boxing history made by one of the all-time greats, Thomas Hearns from Detroit. From Jim Watt, this is Jim Rosenthal at ringside in Las Vegas, wishing you a very good morning.
Listen, can't keep it to myself any longer. Simply had to tell you about our new Colman's home-style cooking sauces. Well, we have put the very best ingredients in a special pack that seals in the freshness and flavour. So there's no need for any added artificial colours or preservatives. They're just like you'd make yourself, if only you had the time. You'll find Colman's home-style cooking sauces make an everyday meal simply delicious. Colman's. Always make the best a touch better.
If you've enough room for a washing machine, you've enough room for a Hotpoint washer-dryer. What's more, it needs no venting, and all parts come guaranteed for 5 years. It's almost foolproof.
We at Commission for the New Towns have hundreds of acres of land and thousands of square feet of factory, warehouse and office space. So if your company needs a little room for improvement, call us at CNT.
Hello, CNT.
CNT. We've got the property. We'll get you moving.
Now this is a lovely buy, marvellous mock maple.
Should have gone to Radio Rentals. Why, with their latest deal, you get a new TV every 18 months.
He's kidding.
No, sir. And it won't cost you extra penny in rental. Wouldn't buy if I were you. Nope.
Push-button controls?
Is renting a better idea than his...
With Radio Rentals, yes. Everyone wants to stay abreast of new life. Should have gone to Radio Rentals. Should have gone to Radio Rentals. With Radio Rentals, a chap can change his set.
If you'd like a new TV every 18 months, go to Radio Rentals.
Every now and then, even a Volvo can run into trouble. So Volvo owners now get CareLine free with a new car. It gives you membership of the RAC, but a great deal more on top. If the worst happens, we'll get your Volvo to the nearest dealer and you to your destination with a free train ticket or hire car. We'll even put you up overnight if you prefer, all free of charge.
Hello, darling. You're not going to believe this.
With a Volvo, you'll get more than just a car.
There's no one I know who's had a good time on heroin.
Well, it's crazy to say that you don't get addicted because you do.
Many people nowadays are addicted to heroin by smoking. Your friends drift away from you, they don't want to know you. So who wants to know a drug addict?
I've lost all my friends. I've lost them all.
I didn't have a good time. It's just it's like a vacuum. It's not like living at all. You just do nothing all the time.
Now I'm broke and it's no joke. It's hard as hell to fight it, don't buy it.
It's just not worth trying it. Before you know it, you will be caught in that trap, and you're not taking the drug because it's nice. You're taking it because you have to take it.
I wish I really never got involved.
And if you get hooked, baby, it's nobody else's fault, so don't do it.
I just feel like I've wasted a lot of my life, you know. About 6 years of my life just ran down the drain.
It's just nothing but trouble.
Turn on next week to TVAM as Jane Irving returns after the half-term with After 9, as Des O'Connor reveals what it's like being a new dad second time around. Judy Graham has some helpful advice for sufferers from multiple sclerosis, and Claire Rayner has some more answers to your problems. All that, plus we hear the heartwarming story of spina bifida sufferer Rebecca Krutovich, as we help to make her dreams of being a bridesmaid come true. So that's all, After 9, returning next week on TVAM.
At extrovert, cheerful, determined, caring. In this week's TV Times, the people who knew Fergie before she married Prince Andrew reveal her secret strengths as she faces her first television interview. Who's in, who's out, and who's next for the chop in the new Spitting Image series. We also tell you what's next for Dishy Damon as he quits Brookside. And we look at life's ups and downs for Britain's best-loved barmaid. For all this and details of programmes on ITV and Channel 4, get this week's big issue of TV Times.
How about some weather for Friday? After the clearance of mist and fog, it will be another rather cloudy day, still dry and bright and with some hazy sunshine here and there. Maximum temperatures reaching 11 or 12 degrees centigrade, 54 Fahrenheit. Winds mainly southeast to easterly, light or moderate. That's the weather forecast. Some transmitter information for you. The dear old Saddleworth transmitter will be off the air once again between 6 o'clock and 12 noon for essential maintenance. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our late Thursday night. You know, you wouldn't get me in a boxing ring for £1 million. Maybe 2 million. Well, everyone has his price, but not tonight. From all of us here at Granada, have a fascinating Friday. And from me, especially to you, look after yourself. And a very good night to you. And a very good morning as well. Here's the clock. You may care to tune in to your independent local radio station, even at this early hour. They're still on the air. But before you do, don't forget, will you, to switch off the television set. Good night.